Representative Zephyr.
Madam Chair, members of the body, I'm going to rise in strong opposition to House Bill 361 because of the harm that it causes. We talked in committee. So one of the things it does is it allows to call another student by the student's legal name. We talked in committee about the many reasons that people go by names that are not their legal name. We have members of this body who go by legal names that are not their legal name. We heard testimony in committee about someone who had whose given name was the name of their father, and their father was abusive. And they did not want to be called that name because it was traumatic and it was painful to that person to have that reminder thrust upon them. Whether that was something done with intent to bully or not, it causes harm to that individual. And to me, that is bad policy. Further, when we talk about the people impacted, one of the communities, surprise, surprise at me standing up, that is directly impacted by this is trans people. And that is seen under Section 2B because that's who this bill is targeting. That's who it's about there. To me, this is inherently discriminatory. And it's discriminatory because you're setting up a policy where if you had a cisgender boy in school, this would not prohibit someone from calling them a girl over and over again. But if you had someone like me, a trans girl, it would allow for them to call me a boy. And to me, you're setting up two distinct standards, which is on the basis of whether or not the student is transgender. And that is inherently discriminatory policy. There were comments in committee. One of the questions that was raised from representative across the aisle was, what do you do if a student was named Tommy and then they go to summer vacation and they come back and they say, my name's Abby? And the question was, how are you supposed to handle that? Well, when I was in school, I had a friend named John Paul who left for summer and came back and said, well, I'm JP now. And I went, oh, JP, great to meet, great, let's go. And so the answer is it's simple. There's not a reason to be shocked by someone's name change. And what I would also say is if it turns out that you have a sincerely held belief that you don't want to recognize a trans person and the pronouns we use, what I would say is just stay quiet. It's that simple. And it's that simple in schools. And we know it's that simple because I have, in my time in this body, I have watched 50 members deftly dodge my pronouns and not refer to me as she, her. But no one in this body has come up to me and said, you're a man. Because we would recognize that that's not right. That's unkind. It's out of decorum. We treat people with respect and dignity, and we should expect that. We expect it here. We should expect it in our schools. The last thing I would say is when it comes to discriminatory policies and policies around this, what those policies are designed for is to protect students from something, from actions taken upon them. This bill and the codification of this policy is codifying someone's ability to do something to another person. And that is a distinct category, and it opens up the school to, despite what the bill says, it opens it up to bullying. And that's unkind, and we wouldn't expect it here. We shouldn't expect it in our schools. I urge a no vote.
Further discussion, Representative Sullivan.